Sunday morning, 20 July, 1783, dawned on the village of Clyster devoid of light and hope. By now everyone knew that the snout of Laki's lava was just around the bend in the Skaftá river channel, not 3 kilometers to the west as the crow flies, and drawing ever nearer. The sky was heavily overcast, the air sulphurous and acrid, charged with lightning, and reverberating with unnerving thunder. For 42 days and nights the fires of the earth had assailed the villagers, stifling them with fumes and humbling them with the awesome destructiveness of molten rock. It was clear to Jón that God's retribution was far from over. Perhaps the Lord was testing him, his faith, and his ability to inspire his dispirited flock. The villagers had fair reason to feel bereft. Some, just days before, had watched as fires overran their villages, homes, and farms, and now the lava had nowhere else to go except straight down the river gorge toward Clyster. Those fit enough would be forced to flee southward toward the sea, where the lava was sure to follow, or scramble up the steep cliffs to the north and make their way along precipitous paths worn by grazing sheep. The old and the infirm would have to fend for themselves. And so on Sunday the people gathered for services, perhaps for the last time, in their only remaining refuge, the church. The journey must have been grim. Ash choked the air and cut off the sun. As the villagers passed through the gloom, they could glimpse only the low stone wall and arched gate at first, then the chapel steeple and cross. Inside the church the only light came from a succession of lightning flashes, followed by claps of thunder so loud the steeple bells chimed in response. Jón couldn't help thinking about 2 other churches in the region that had already been consumed by lava. It looked entirely possible that today his would meet the same fate. But there wasn't much time to dwell on such gloomy thoughts. Once everyone was assembled in their usual rows, Jón took his place at the pulpit. What he was about to do would become legendary in Iceland, and earn him the nickname Eldprestur, or Fire Priest. The words he was about to speak would to this day be known as the Eldmesse, or Fire Mass. Oddly, Jón, a man so adept at chronicling local history, left behind only a few sparse sentences describing his Fire Mass. But here's what we know happened. He began by urging everyone to pray to God with proper meekness, and to ask that, in his mercy, he should not be so quick to destroy them or the church. Great as the calamity was, just as great was his almighty strength in our weakness, Jón told his parishioners. Tumult raged outside as he spoke, but those inside the church appeared calm and resigned to their fate. Each and every person was without fear, asking his mercy and submitting to his will. I have no reason to believe otherwise than that every man was prepared to die there, if this would have pleased him, and would not have left even if things had become worse, because now it was impossible to see where there was a safe place. Jón's impassioned entreaty drew out the service a little longer than usual. Under the circumstances, he felt, no length of time spent talking to God could be too long. The churchgoers apparently agreed. Even though they all felt the lava would soon be upon them, no one tried to flee. Finally, the service ended. The villagers ventured outside, wondering if their homes had been swallowed by lava. But they could see no new devastation. No molten rock, no fires, no destruction had come upon them as Jón had preached. Puzzled, a group of men hiked up the river channel to see how much closer the lava had come. To their astonishment, they saw that it had advanced not a meter during the service. During the time which had elapsed, Jón later wrote, it had collected and piled up in the same place, layer upon layer, in a downward-sloping channel some 70 fathoms wide and 20 deep, and will rest there in plain sight until the end of the world, unless transformed once again. What seemed like an inexorable advance had, inexplicably, halted. Today, the place where the lava stopped is still visible a few kilometers upstream from the spot where the Clyster Chapel stood. It is a low, weathered wall of black rock in the middle of the Skaftá River channel. It seems a comfortable enough distance from town, but only because we know the outcome of the story. For those suffering that